So these are the homework solutions for day 5.3, and we're looking at first and second differences and how they indicate whether we're talking about a linear or a quadratic equation. So we have a list of points that are already given for us: 0, -4, 1, -5, and so on. And we're interested in the differences in the y's. So what does this actually mean? Well, let's look over here on our graph, and these are the coordinates that are in the table plotted on a graph. So here we have a y value of -4 here at the point 0, -4, and here we have a y value of -5 at the coordinate 1, -5. So what these tables are interested in is what is the difference in the y value as we go from here to the next coordinate? Well, the difference right here is a difference of -1. The y value here is -4, and the y value here is -5. So if we say, what is -5 minus -4, the difference is 1, or -1. We're going down. Now we're here at this particular y value, and we're going up to this coordinate, and we want to know what is the difference in the y values from one to the other. So we can get that by subtracting, we'll say, -2 minus -5. And that gives us a value of 3. And if we see here, 1, 2, 3, it's represented in the graph. Here, we'll say 5 minus -2 gives us an answer of 7. So from here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this pattern continues. So this is actually what the difference is. What is the difference in the y values as we move from one coordinate to the next? So here, 16 minus 5, 11, 31 minus 16, 15, and 50 minus 31, the difference is 19. So we have all our first differences right here. They're all different. So we know we don't have a linear equation. Now, we've got a whole different list of differences here. I'm interested now in what is the difference between this difference and this difference. And we can get this by stating 3 minus -1, which gives us a value of 4. The next one, 7 minus 3, gives us a second difference of 4 as well. The third one, 11 minus 7, 4. 15 minus 11, 4. 19 minus 15, 4. All of the second differences are the same, so we know that our equation is a quadratic. Next question here, we have our xy values for a whole bunch of coordinates. We're interested in what is the difference in the y values as we move from one coordinate to the next. 17 minus 21, -4. Next one, -30. Difference is 22, and so on, and so on. All these differences, all these first differences, are not the same, so we know we don't have a linear equation. So let's check our second differences. So we'll take -30 minus -4, get -26, do the next one, 52, and so on, and so on. And we see that our second differences are not the same either. So our relation is non quadratic. Here in this one, we calculate our first differences. 8 minus 27. Get this answer. So we'll just quickly go through the first differences. And we can see that they are all different. The first differences are not the same. So we know that our equation is not linear. Let's check to see if it's quadratic. -7 minus -19. 12. We'll do the next one. 6. And so on. And we can see that our second differences are not the same. So the relation is non-quadratic. Next one. Let's find our differences, our first differences for this particular series of coordinates. First difference, -30, -36, -42, and so on. All of our first differences are not the same, so we know our equation is not linear. Let's check our second differences. -6, -6, and so on. In this case, all of our second differences are the same, so now we know that our relation is quadratic. Complete the table of values for the following relations. Show that the relations are quadratic. So in this example, we have to work a little bit harder. We're not told what our y values are, like we were in the previous questions. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to take these x values, plug them into our equation to determine what our y value is. So we'll take that 0 and we'll plug it into the x's. We'll come up with a y value of -5. Plug in the 1's, gives us a y value of -8. So on with the 2's, and so on. And so now we have a series of coordinates: 0, -5, 1, -8, 2, -3, and so on. But we're just interested in the differences between our y values. So -8 minus -5 gives us an answer of -3. We'll do it for the rest. And we see that our first differences are all different. So we know that the equation is not linear because the first differences are all different. Let's check our second differences. 5 minus -3 gives us a second difference of 8. Do the next one. 8 as well. 8, 8, and 8. All of our second differences are the same. So we know that our relation is a quadratic. Here in this one, once again, we're not given the y values. We're going to have to do a little extra work. We'll have to plug in our x values to figure out what the y values are. After we do that, we get the following y values. Now we're interested in these differences. -53 minus -110 gives us a first difference of 57. Do that for the next one, and the next one, and we get a whole series of first differences. The first differences are all different, so we know that the equation is not linear. Let's check to see if it's quadratic by calculating our second difference. 39 minus 57 gives us a second difference of 18. Do the next one, and in each case, we see that our second difference is 18. So now we know that our relation is a quadratic.